What makes a great story?
Ooh, what makes a great story? I think ultimately if it evokes an emotional response, whatever that emotion is, whether it be elation, sadness, fear, if it evokes an emotion, it's a great story. Now, how that happens is so many things, but it has to evoke something. Because if not, the people leave feeling like, okay, that was smart. Like, like it could be brilliant, but did they feel anything from it? So I think if it evokes an emotion through the story, not just a random, through the story evoking emotion, it's a good story.
Have you watched a film where you could tell other people weren't into it, but you were, or vice versa, it was one that was recommended, the critics all loved it, and you're like, yeah, it didn't get to me right here.
Yeah, it normally happens the other way around where I'm like, this was awesome. And people are like, I didn't get anything from it. I'm like, what? But yeah, sometimes where you hear all these things about a movie, people love it. And I'm like, this is all right. Usually it's something that's very niche. So in this day and age where things can go viral like that, like it's just, boom, everyone loves it. But it's usually a core group of people loved it and they spread it because they were so excited about it because it fit a certain niche that they're in. And then other people will follow because people are sheep, the masses follow the masses and they're like, oh, it's great. And then it's great. And it gets to be this huge thing. And then someone coming into it, they're like, it's okay. But it wasn't their niche. And most of the people that are watching it and saying it's great, it's probably not their niche. They're grabbing onto the truth that someone else told them and they're going into it with expectations and bringing their own, like someone else's excitement into the room. So I found that usually when a story doesn't necessarily connect with me or wow me, and some people are really excited, it's a personal thing. Like maybe, I know this one movie I watched and I cried on it. Like, and I don't cry on a lot of movies, but I cried and I was like, reading the reviews and they're like, it was disconnected, it didn't talk to the audience. It was just bashing the connection part, which I'm like, I cried. But I realized I had a personal thing that connected with that movie. So for me, it was a great movie. So that's all we need to do as writers, producers, filmmakers. We only need to connect with the audience and we need to connect in a wide enough space for people to love it. And then we have a story, we have a movie.
What takes you out of a film? What ruins a story for you?
For me, it's tough when I feel like a lack of authenticity in a project or film or script. That can take me out of it. I can just kind of okay. Because they maybe said something, the actor said something, the character is speaking, and I know I just met the character for like a whole 30 minutes. That doesn't fit what they're doing. That doesn't fit what they're saying. So I felt like they tried to push a narrative or push something because it felt right or fun for the project. But it's like, but you just introduced me to the character to be something different. And if a character steps out of themselves and acts in a way that's completely off the way they should act or the way they are prone to act, there should be something that tells me that there's an opportunity for that to happen. So a man that is so loving and kind, then all of a sudden is mean to his wife. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Rather than like, okay. So I have to stay connected by proof and truth. So we stay authentic in stories if we come from a place of truth. And for a writer that's knowing the characters that you're writing and knowing what they would say. For a producer, it's keeping an eye on the full picture, watching it and making sure everything fits into that from what the character is wearing, all these things. You can't hire a wardrobe designer that doesn't think about, okay, this guy is a blue collar guy. We need a lot more wear and tear on his clothes. That could take me out in the moment. It's like, okay, that guy's jacket is very fresh. I'm out. And I don't blame the wardrobe designer on that. I blame the producer. Because if you see these things, you're keeping an eye on everything, and the UPM and all these people, like you're tracking people, you should know that something is off here and it should be adjusted and there should be conversations about it. The director should be talking to your creative team on a regular basis, and they all do, to where you understand that everything I'm telling you about the story, I know, the director, you're gonna take the story and then apply it to your niche. So the production design, it shouldn't be bright and colorful if we're about to go into a dark space. Like, let's bring it down. Let's get some real material in there. Let's not have a lot of, brand new type materials. Let's get some wood in there. Let's get some metal in the scene or whatever it is. Like, I want everyone to have that same vision and then apply it. So producer, make sure your director has a vision and make sure they know how to convey it. And if they're not conveying it, step in and make sure you're intervening and making sure that he's able to do it or she's able to do that. And then on the writer's side, the same thing. Do you know your characters? You're pitching a story to me. You want me to get finance. Tell me about the characters. Oh, well, in the script they do. No, not what they do in the script. Tell me about them. Like, tell me about their lives. So then when I'm reading the script, red flag, nope, you just told me that that guy is like really narcissistic. You told me that when I met you. And now I'm reading this care moment. Why is he having a care moment? You didn't prove it. Well, it's care because this is the moment where he changes. Okay, prove it. Show me, so that the audience doesn't feel disconnected. So I think you can pull an audience out by not remaining authentic in any capacity. Writing, production design, wardrobe, hair, makeup, anything. It all needs to be with the director's vision in mind, and that director should have a very strong vision that can be applied throughout. And that's the producer's job to make sure it happens.